Okay, so good morning, students. So we have already finished the prose lesson, A Truly Beautiful Mind, which was about Albert Einstein, the renowned scientist who also got Nobel Prize for Physics, Okay, now after reading this story, we are going to do the exercises, okay? So I told you, so whenever we finished one prose lesson, the next section you will come across is thinking about the text. You see, thinking about the text. So thinking about the text, what should I say? This is about questions that come from the textbook. Okay, so the first section you remember before you read. Okay, now we have finished the lesson, and now the second section we have is thinking about the text. You have got exercises from the passage. You got it? Okay, now the first one is here are some headings for paragraphs in the text. Write the numbers of the paragraphs for each title against the heading. The first one is done for you. So you see, now these are the, what should I say, paragraph heading. Okay, there are so many paragraphs which talks about, what should I say, Albert Einstein. Okay, so what you have to do, you have to write the number of the paragraph. For example, Einstein equation. Okay, now this one you will find on para number 9. Okay, now what about this? Einstein meets his future wife. You remember, if you look at the paragraphs, you will see that it's para number 7. Para number 7. You got it? Okay, yes. The making of violinist. Okay, you remember Einstein's mother wanted him to learn how to play violin. Okay, and then he became a amateur violinist. Okay, para number 3. Okay, you write here para number 3. Likewise, Miller and Einstein mother, you remember Einstein mother was totally against Mileva, okay, their marriage. So you will find that on para number 10. A letter that launched the arms race, you remember Einstein writing a letter to the American president, okay, you will find that on para number 15. Okay, and a desk drawer full of ideas. You remember Einstein started working in a patent office in Bern. Okay, so he called the desk drawer the Bureau of what should I say, theoretical physics. You remember? Okay, you will find that in para number 8. Last, the marriage and divorce, okay, they married, and soon after their marriage they divorced. Okay, you will find that on para number 11. So this is the first exercise. Okay, now there are some of the which we say questions from the passage. You got it? Who had these opinion about Einstein? Okay, Einstein had got so many opinion by the people. First one, he was very boring. Now, who do you think said this? Whose opinion? Okay, you remember the playmates. Okay, the playmates, they call him boring brother. Okay, yes. He was stupid and would never succeed in life. Okay, you remember? It was his headmaster in the school. He was a freak. Yes, this was the opinion of his own mother. Okay, he was a freak. Okay, now number 3, explain what reason for the following are. Okay, Einstein leaving the school in Munich. Einstein left the school for good. You get it? Okay, yes. Why do you think? It was because of the school's regimentation. He was fed up with all the strict rules. Okay, Einstein wanting to study in Switzerland rather than Munich. Okay, because the school regimentation, the strict. Okay, it's very strict. Oh, and Switzerland, which was more liberal than Munich. Okay, Einstein saying in Mileva and Allen. Okay, Ally means, I told you, friendship. Okay, they became friends. They shared a common interest. That is, they both are totally against the, what do you say? What is that word? Huh? The word which we say, which we use for people who hate art, literature, like this. Okay, they were totally against this type of people. So this is the friendship. Okay, what do these people, what do these tell you about Einstein? These lines say that Einstein was very straightforward. Okay, he was very intelligent. Okay, all these things. Okay, you write your own answer. What did Einstein call his desk drawer? Okay, remember when he was working in the patent office in Bern, he called this desk drawer the Bureau of Theoretical Physics. You got it? Okay. He started working about his theories in physics on that desk. He used to put all the secrets. Okay, yeah. Why did Einstein write a letter to Franklin Roosevelt, the American president? Why? On the request of his colleague, because they feared that the Germans, the Nazis, would build atom bomb. Okay, yes, because they discovered the nuclear fission. Remember? Okay. Now, number 6, how did Einstein react to the bombing of Hiroshima? Einstein was totally, saddened by the extent of the destruction, okay, in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. So he wrote a public missive. He wrote an official letter to United Nations. Okay, yes. Now, why does the world remember Einstein as a world citizen? Einstein was not just a renowned scientist, he was also remembered as a world citizen because he was thinking for the welfare of the people in the world. He campaigned for the world peace and democracy, and he was totally against the arms race. Okay, so people remember Einstein as a world citizen. Okay, yes. Now, number 8, okay, here are some facts from Einstein's life. Arrange them in chronological order. Now, here is the life of Einstein. It's all jumbled up. Now, what you have to do, you have to arrange that. Okay, yes, starting from the beginning. Okay, yes, the first one, do you remember? Okay, yes, the first one is, yes, Einstein is born in German city of Ulm. Okay, so that is the first one, obviously. And then we have the Einstein family moves to Milan, and then Einstein attends a high school. So this is not a big deal. Okay, so I want you to arrange this in chronological order. So chronological order means according to the year. Okay, yes. Okay, now we are finished with thinking about the text. Now, next section is thinking about the language. I told you, okay, it is about the language that is covered in this particular uh, prose lesson. Okay, yes, so let me read this for you. Here are some sentences from the story. Choose the word. You have to choose the word from the bracket which can be substituted. Substituted means replaced, okay, just like a synonym, same meaning. Italicized words in the sentence. For example, you have to find the word from the bracket, okay. A few years later, the marriage faltered, that is the italic word. Now you have to find the substitute from the words in the bracket. You got it? A few years later, the marriage faltered. So faltered means became big. Okay, so this is the substitute for the word faltered. I mean, they both have got the same meaning. Okay, yes. Now, number 2, Einstein was constantly at odds with people at the university. Okay, so you have to find the substitute of this italicized word from the bracket. Okay, Einstein was constantly at odds, okay, on bad terms, in disagreement and unhappy. So it's in disagreement, okay, because he was not that much what should I say, comfortable with the people in the university. Okay, yes, because some of them are totally against the art, literature, like this. Okay, yes. Now the third one, the newspaper proclaim. Now you have to find the substitute for this word. His work as a scientific revelation. Okay, so proclaim means declared. Okay, declared and proclaim same. Okay, number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6, and number 7. Okay, so I want you to do all these things. So you have to find the substitute for the word agitating. You have to find the substitute for the word in an uproar, or you have to find the substitute word for forgot, and appeal. Now these are the things I want you to do this, okay? Now the next part 2, study the following sentences. Okay, now first you have to study the sentence. Let me read this. Einstein became a gifted violinist, maintaining this skill throughout his life. Okay, that is one thing you have to take note of this. Letters survive in which they put their affection into words, mixing science with tenderness. Okay, when they exchange their letter. Okay, now after studying these two sentences, let us see what it says. The part in italics, okay, now these part maintaining and mixing, what? In the above sentences begin with ing verbs. Okay, yes. So it begins with mixing, maintaining ing verbs. You got it? Okay. And what are they called? They are called participle phrases. These words are called participle. For example, maintaining, mixing, they are all called participle phrases. So participle phrases say something more about the person or thing talked about or the idea expressed by the sentence as a whole. For example, okay, Einstein became a gifted amateur violinist. He maintained this skill throughout his life. So you remember, okay, this is the full sentence. Okay, he maintained this skill throughout his life. Okay, now I want you to look at this sentence. Einstein became a gifted amateur violinist. Now, instead of saying he maintained this skill throughout the life, okay, so how did they do? They changed the maintain. Okay, that word maintain is changed into which form? Ing form. So maintaining this skill throughout his life. Did you understand? Okay, now this as an example, I want you to do the following. Complete the sentences below by filling in the blanks with suitable participle clause. You remember what is a participle clause? Participle clause are verb starting with verb 1 ing. Okay, so the information that has to be used in the phrases is provided as a sentence in the bracket. So they worked. Okay, they worked round the clock. Now this is where you have to work. Okay, try to get the verb 1 ing of this verb. Okay, for example, dash comma the firefighters finally put out the fire. So they worked round the clock. Okay, so instead of they work, you have to find the ing verb. Okay, yes. So working round the clock. So instead of worked, we can start by working. So that is participle clause. So working round the clock, the firefighters finally put out the fire. Did you get it? Okay, now let me give you the second one. Now you have to pay attention to this sentence. Okay, you try to get the verb and you change the form of that verb. Okay, so the verb here is notice. Do you see this? Yeah, this is the verb. Okay, she noticed the colors blending softly into one another. Okay, yes. So let me read the first sentence. She watched the sunset above the mountain. She watched the sunset above the mountain, comma. Now notice noticing the colors. Notice instead of notice, you have to write the participle clause. So noticing the colors blending softly into one another. You have to write the ing form. Okay, let me give you one more example. The excited horse pawed the ground rapidly. Okay, yes. Now here, while it neighed continuously, the sound of a horse. Okay, neigh. Now you have to think of ing here, verb 1 ing. The excited horse pawed the ground rapidly, neighing continually. You got it? Now I think it will be easy for you to do the change this sentence. Number 4, number 5, number 6, and number 7. It will be a very easy. Okay, you try to identify the verb and you get the what should I say, participle phrase of that verb. You got it? Okay, now next section is writing. Okay, so in the writing section, what do they want you to do? They want you to write a short report. Okay, you have to write a report, and this is just whenever there is some kind of writing, there are some prompts. Okay, either in visual or verbal. Now this is a verbal. You are given some words. Okay. So in the report, you should divide this into 4 paragraphs. So your report should be having 4 paragraphs, and each paragraph on this topic. Okay, title. For example, okay, one paragraph should be about what was unearthed. The other paragraph should be who unearthed it, and the third one is what document contained, okay, and fourth one is where it will be kept. So remember, this is a paragraph, okay. Yes, you have to write 4 paragraphs, one each. And now the sample is given here. Your report could begin like this. The title: Students Unearths Einstein Manuscript. Okay, yes, students unearth means now, for example, 21st August 2005, an original handwritten Albert Einstein manuscript, okay, has been unearthed at the university in the Netherlands. Dash, 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 dash. Okay, so you have to continue. Is that okay? Yes. Now the next one is dictation. You see, so each and every lesson has this part, dictation, where the teacher will supposed to read this, okay, and student will write it, okay, whatever the teacher says. Okay, so dictation we are going to, okay. Now with this we have finished with the exercises. So remember, this one lesson there are some exercises which covers almost all the skills. You got it? Okay, yes. So I want you to complete the remaining exercises. Okay, all the best. Thank you.